Hey, Utah Mammoth fans, Tusks up, and welcome into another Utah Mammoth Daily. Hit that subscribe button, and let's get rolling. So, let's start with the obvious. I mean, losing to Toronto sucks, but it was an eye-opener for a lot of the players. After the game, Mikhail Sergachev said, we just didn't do what Coach told us to do. And I think that was him calling out the cool in the gang line a little bit. Because at points during the game, you could hear the Mammoth bench shout some stuff for that particular line, and they just didn't do it. They continue to try to take the puck over the blue line themselves instead of just the easy play, as Dom Moore likes to put it on the broadcast, and just dump and chase. Get in there. Mix it up. Play the 200-foot hockey. That sort of thing. And for whatever reason, recently, Logan Cooley, J.J. Peterka, and Dylan Guenther each are trying to prove something. I don't know what, but they're trying to prove something by trying to take on the world. 1v4, 1v3, whatever it is. And that's just not going to work. And so that is the reality of what's going on. But the team still didn't quit. They easily could have just given up, packed it in, allowed in like 3 more goals if they really wanted to. But they still fought. They still went to 6 skaters, even though Utah is the worst in the league when they have 6 skaters on the ice. That one is just mind-boggling to me because the amount of talent the team has, the 6 skaters, no goals for over a season, I don't know. But there was no quit. Yeah, there was a second period slump again, the 2-1 in the second period this time. But the third period, when they allowed 3 goals, 1 empty netter, was them. It just kind of looked like they ran a little bit out of gas there in the third period. It didn't look like they quit. It just looked like they ran out of gas. And so that's what happened there, in my opinion. But I don't think that it's any time close to panicking. That's really where I'm at. One thing we need to look out, though, for is the giveaways. Utah is giving the puck away a lot. Almost 30 times against Toronto. Is 27 to Toronto's 19. And most of those giveaways led directly to goals, if not all of them. And again, I think that comes from that cool in the gang line that is just trying to prove something. And they just need to play. Because if they just play normally, they can skate with almost any line in the league. They've proven that. I don't know what else they're trying to prove. I don't know if it's like an internal competition, a rivalry between the 3 guys, like I can do this, you can't, I'm going to prove it to you, here we go, sort of thing. But I think with the associate captain kind of calling you out indirectly in the media after the game, I hope that the veterans in that locker room are talking to the guys, just be like, just play. You don't need to be fancy. You don't need to prove that you can win 1 versus 5. Like, just play, and you'll be fine. That's what you did in the win streak, and that's what we'll need from you again. I hope that's what's going on in the locker room. I already know that Andre Turgeon and his staff are already knee-deep in fixing that issue, so it shouldn't be a terrible issue moving forward, but the nature of Utah's offense does lend itself to more giveaways than other teams, but it just feels like with that second line recently, it's a little bit out of hand, and so those guys just need to slow down, calm down, and let the game come to them a little bit more. But that's what I've been seeing the past few games. A lot of the news, I know yesterday I said Utah was number 2 in the power rankings. They were as of Halloween. Now they've dropped to 8th on The Athletic, but that's still really high. So, it's interesting just to see it. It's the top quarter of the league. If you're top 8, that means you're locked into playoffs. So, interesting stuff going on there. Now, the national eyes are opening even more. There's a clip, I guess you could say, that was posted on Yardbarker. The Mammoth may be more of a cup contender than we think. And really, it wasn't like, they're going to be up there with the Panthers or the Oilers or the Avalanche or Stars. But it was more of a comparison between the Canadiens and the Mammoth, which we're going to get a close-up to here today. But it was which team is closer to a cup between the two. So it wasn't like, oh, the Mammoth are in the top 5 of the league, they're going to be challenging for a cup. It was these two teams are basically mirroring each other, and they're basically at the same point in their rebuilds, with the Mammoth just like itty bit ahead. And what they were saying was that they felt like the Mammoth were closer than the Canadiens because of the way Bill Armstrong has built his roster. He's allowed the young guys to come up through the system and come up through the system together. He's kept the core together. He hasn't broken it up or he hasn't piecemealed it out to get other pieces. And he's built a veteran ring around that core to help coach up those young guns. So that's why they were saying the Mammoth are closer. It's really cool to see that. The Mammoth ranked top 10 in expected goals and scoring chances, and their defense has become one of the best at limiting high-danger looks if we don't look at the Edmonton and Toronto games. So that's really good. I mean, the more I look at people that know more hockey than I do, and the more they talk about this Mammoth team, there's no reason to panic. There just isn't. So that's really, really fun to see. And like I've said before many times, I'm very excited to be a part of this whole bandwagon process. All right, and lastly, we're learning lessons here. So there was another piece written, and the pieces are coming hot and heavy because the Mammoth are back east, where obviously Toronto is the mecca of hockey, and if you don't agree with that, then Montreal is. So it's between those two. And so the Mammoth are going through there, and so they're getting more interviews with the more national writers. And so another piece came out with Bill Armstrong, and he said it best last week when he said, "We're still a team learning how to win the right way." And that's true. I mean, they're winning in a lot of different ways, but the consistency has yet to really stick. There was that winning streak, and now they've lost 3 of their last 4. And so we're kind of seeing this team learn on the go, but they're doing better than they were last year. They're 3-0 in overtime games. 2 of those 3 games probably wouldn't even have gotten to an overtime last year, especially like against the Avalanche. Last year they might have collapsed a little bit and allowed the Avalanche to take the lead in regulation. And so seeing this team being able to, straighten their backs up a little bit and go, all right, let's just go and win this. We know we can. That's really cool. And then obviously they've done the blowout stuff against Minnesota, St. Louis. They've also dropped games that they shouldn't have dropped, like against, I'm blanking on their name right now, against the Blackhawks early in the season. They shouldn't have dropped that game. They outshot their opponent crazy. So the puck luck wasn't there then, and they bounced back and they got on a winning streak. So this team is maturing as it goes. It's really fun to watch. There are no panic buttons that should be anywhere on your desk or anywhere else. Just enjoy the ride, enjoy the rise, and I'm thinking maybe next year, if Bill Armstrong works some wizardry this offseason, the Mammoth could be Cup favorites. So if you agree with me, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Tusks up.